All right. Have you ever like tuned in and then you're so clear on what you want? You're stepping into your power. You get the intuitive nudge. You take the nudge. You take action. A day goes by, 2 days, 5 days, and you're like, okay, how do I now sustain this positive, progressive momentum? How do I actually make this work? I've been in this cycle with myself where I really feel like I'm embodying that sense of power and I get these great downloads and I'm ready and I like go and create something and I go do it. But then I'm like witnessing my ego, my old habitual self stepping in, making it complicated, making it hard, wanting to grasp, attaching to the outcome that I'm ready to break. I'm like, how do I break this cycle? So I was in a coaching call today. I was receiving coaching. We should all have coaches. And I really love something that he said. And he was explaining this matrix. And I'm going to draw it out for you of how I conceptually understood it. And it really kind of landed for me. So if you think about it, I'll scooch my camera over here. There's this doing line, which most of us, hyperachiever over here, are very attuned with, meaning we're constantly on the go with doing. But then there's the being. So if we think of like the moments that we receive those intuitive downloads, it's typically, at least for me, it could be also in like doing when you're really in a flow state. And that's a little different. But when I'm talking about doing in this particular case, it's like let's make this difficult and hard. And I'm pushing and efforting for the doing. Okay. So follow me here. In my state of being, in a meditation, when I'm maybe not thinking, I might be out for a walk, I might be connecting to nature, I might be at my workout, but inside of that state of being, I might get a nudge. And that could be a divine download, that could be my intuition just telling me the next step. So I take an action, right? I take an action. So here I am, my action is now taken. And now I'm like, okay, how do I continue to create that momentum? I want to take more action and more action and more action and more action, right? But now I'm stuck in this doing rut, meaning I'm taking action not from this intuitive space, but I'm taking it from a place of effort. And that's, again, my case, old habitual patterns. So the insight that I received was, my question essentially was, well, how do I break this cycle? How do I really sustain the momentum and this progress that I'm wanting to create with these nudges? What he says was, and this is how I understood it, we should, I hate that word. We have the choice to create more pauses of being. So I take the nudge right here, right? I take the action and I hit the wall. So here are the triggers. The minute it starts to feel complicated, the minute I'm finding myself attached to the outcome, the minute that I'm starting to feel the doubt and the fears in my mind, that is my trigger to pause. Take a breath, reconnect, step into being. What does that look like? For me, that's coming back to my why, coming back to why does this work matter in the first place? What is it about this that matters most to me right now? What's the impact I'm going to create? And more important than that, or as I should say, a part of that, it's stepping into the feeling of it already being done. So what I'm going to practice, and I'll be happy to circle back, and hopefully an inspiration for all of you today, is I'm choosing to create more of these intentional moments of being throughout my day to break up the habitual efforting of the doing cycle that I've found myself in. This rat race, you're constantly going, and then you hit the wall, right? And that's your burnout. Yeah, no more women. I see you. So here we are, pausing, creating more of these moments of being. So before you hit the wall, when I find myself, for example, this morning, I'm trying to get my toddler off to school and he's got to finish his egg before he goes to school. And it's like I'm creating so much stress and pressure. I'm already in this rush and my day hasn't even really begun. So I found myself in micro moments, and I'm no expert at this, but it's like I was literally listening to something and she's saying slow down. And I literally found myself take a breath. And it felt so good for 5 seconds. And then I got back into my ego and I'm like, I got to get this kid off to school, and it's creating moments of pause, creating the moments to be, come back to the be. It's like, this is the work. The work isn't about the how and the doing in the 3D. The work, the spiritual work, the inner work, the freedom work is about coming back to embodying the state of being that you desire to be when everything on the outside is already working well. Sorry, I should restate that. Imagining that everything on the outside is already exactly as you desire it to be. Come back to that state of being. That's the only pointed focus that we get to have, that we choose to have, that we embody having in this lifetime. Let me know what resonates before. That was my little wisdom burst for today. This download that I just had, this really insightful piece that I look forward to practicing alongside each of you. Be well, my friends.